life happens in the in-betweens.
Right. And so like lifting, you know, doing one direction, like squats or whatever in one direction, you know, doesn't kind of, well,
doesn't translate.
It's not a complete.
It doesn't translate functionally.
Complete strength, right?
Right. And you know, I think there's some other philosophies or movement practices that take end ranges, or it's really interesting to see how there used to be sort of this philosophy that, like, you know, there's good movements and there's bad movements, and I think in reality, like, I mean, I can only imagine in jiu-jitsu, like, there is no good or bad movement. There's just movement. Like, sometimes you're in an optimal position and sometimes you're working with what you've got. And I think learn structure, learn the right structure, and then learn mobility so that you can blend those two with the breath, and then everything is optimal. But sometimes you're rotating funny, or you're in a twisted position trying to deliver power. And I think having the club, it just frees you up to move in different ways and really start to feel ranges that might otherwise be problematic. You know, now you're not as prone to injury in those directions.
Yeah. I mean, you said jiu-jitsu, and you think like, good ways and bad ways, but there's the right way because it's your strongest way. Right. And so it's the same technique for club bells and, you know, all the bodyweight movements, you know, so all those principles, they translate to everything, right? Not just jiu-jitsu, but everything that we do.
Oh, and that's what has been so fun about creating TacFit Firefighter with Ryan Provencher. I mean, he's been working on it for a decade, but to be able to see now, you know, going into academy and doing all these new movements, like, I'm pretty strong, but you're not strong in something you've never done. So it just takes reps. And it was so humbling to be, you know, working with power tools and, you know, really heavy, forcible entry equipment. You know, we would pry bars and long pike poles, and, you know, crazy charged hose lines are very heavy and very hard to maneuver, and you're going upstairs, and it was really physically demanding. And it's been cool to see and to learn in my own body new applications of all this stuff and realize, like, it's all the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's not different. Like the structure that I've learned, I learned it in one capacity, and now I translate it to this new occupation. And being able to work with Ryan, who's had a career, you know, a lifetime in the fire service, and learning, you know, how do I prevent the injuries that you unfortunately had to handle and work through because you didn't know, you know, and how can I take the knowledge that I'm coming in with and really apply it, and don't let it get lost, so that as I'm doing my job and as I'm helping my brothers and sisters in the fire service, you know, how do I take the same movement principles and apply them? Yeah. And that's essentially what we're trying to do with TacFit Firefighter, is just set people up for success with that.
I wanted to because I was thinking about the Dangal movie. Do you remember the Dangal movie?
You watched it? You're like, you gotta see this, because I have two daughters, right? You have two daughters.
Right.
Yeah, I got pretty stoked about that movie.
And you saw that they use the wooden clubs, right? Yeah. And the thing. So it's just so interesting, right? That there's a reason why, right? They use those things.
Yeah. There's a tool for everything.
There's a tool for everything.
It has its application.
But it's like ancient, and I mean, since we're it's the first tool, right, of humans.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I would imagine, you know, a club, some sort of blunt force tool for hunting and self-defense. Yeah. I mean, we're designed in spiral patterns for a reason, throw and to throw or to club or to hunt. Yeah. So. Yeah. You know, you got invited to train for a team leader for level 2, right? I did, yeah. So it started out, I jumped in pretty quick, and I think I tried.
You did the CST.
The trial by fire. You did the CST certification, which was the club bell trial by fire.
Circular strength training.